Hey everyone, this is Veritas,
And Cat Attack.
and this video is covering the Sony E3 2013 conference. Um, if you've seen our other videos, we were kind of uppity and ecstatic about talking. So starting off, the stream that was running when Sony was in charge was not
Shit.
was shit, basically. This is going to be rated M for mature because we're not holding back anything from this. And we're not like fanboys of Xbox. We're not like anti PlayStation. We're going at this from the most like just casual observer perspective possible right now. The first
45 minutes
45
of the stream wasn't even about PlayStation.
no, it was just about them to people talking, trying to prep for the stream being buckling. The next 30 minutes was Sony going around talking to people about, so basically fishing for comments about how bad the Xbox was, and talking about
They're making little comments about how the
Sly
Xbox
comments.
is about just entertainment.
Entertainment and TV. So the 30 minutes after the 45 minutes we've spent, so the first hour and 15 minutes is about how terrible Xbox is and how entertainment is not the future of gaming and how Sony is going to use TV for gaming and not entertainment. And then after that half hour was over, the next 45 minutes to an hour were spent on Sony saying, so yeah guys, we're going to have our own TV show, or TV what?
Program. It was basically saying that they were going to work with Sony Entertainment to bring their own exclusive program for viewing TV, movies, listening to music, all the stuff that they just ragged on Xbox for.
Microsoft for doing. And then they're talking about how they're going to integrate Crackle and Flickster or whatever and Netflix.
Neon Alley, which is an anime thing on
that
Xbox.
that we both want on Xbox.
It's gonna
Basically,
bring
they
Netflix,
showed
Hulu.
like 20 entertainment, television, movie, music oriented things that are being pushed heavily on the PlayStation 4 in direct tail to them dissing Microsoft for being entertainment oriented. Then they go on to talk about, what do they talk about right after entertainment?
They talked
More
about
entertainment?
Well, no, they went into their games, their 30 so exclusives, how they wanna, all their indie games.
How they've been long-time supporter of indie game titles. So, basically, they only talked about, for the few minutes after that, they only talked about indie game titles, and how they've been a long-time supporter of them.
I don't even know what to say. I'm
It's-
still disgusted with Sony.
It's not even right. It really isn't. It's basically what they did when it came to like indie game titles is they found popular PC games made by indie companies and like Don't Starve and Outlast, a few others like one kind of like Asteroid, whatever the heck that. It's like
They just had a bunch of different ports.
different popular PC ports being ported to PlayStation 4 and talking about how they're working closely with the independent developers making them, which makes them so much better than Microsoft. So that was about 6 or 7, maybe 8 of those companies working together like that. Then they go on to show their games that they're releasing, and that was, I think, blocks of 3 games apiece with tiny bit of commentary in between saying that we don't have any information on it, so wait until next big conference at like Gamescom or whatever, and just like future endeavors. And all the games were, none of them looked in the slightest entertaining.
I mean, like I said, they showed Killzone, they showed Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, they showed their basic PlayStation titles.
Yeah.
Apart from God of War.
Right. They just kind of revamped They just kind of like, it was a reiteration ceremony. And then they showed Assassin's Creed, and the stream, I should say the entire time that the stream was on, anything that wasn't someone talking on stage, it was lagging behind and shutting down and restarting until we got to Assassin's Creed, where we thought the stream was continuing to just lag behind and stuff. Until we got to about halfway through the Assassin's Creed demo when it started really shutting down. they near the end of the Assassin's Creed Black Flag demo, they actually zoomed out of the full screen of the video to show the stage where they were playing it, and all you could see was the frame rate dropping to 1 every 4 seconds.
If that, the game froze. The
3 or 4
dropped.
times.
It was just
And it
sad.
shut down. They had to cut away from it. Everyone started cheering because they thought the demo was over. It kept playing because it had frozen that long. And they cut away from it and just showed like the cover art, like the concept art for the game, to kind of cover up the fact that the PlayStation 4 couldn't even handle a live demo for 5 minutes.
To give you a better idea how bad it was, the only person clapping after that was the producer.
Right. The producer for Watch Dogs, who was coming out to talk about Watch Dogs. And then they played Watch Dogs, and that looked like an Xbox 360 game. Like a medium range. It looked like GTA 4.
We looked at it on the Xbox.
Xbox One, and it was beautiful.
It was better. Much, much better. Now listen, graphics don't make a game,
Right.
but when you're going to sit there and brag about having the best technology and the best graphics, you better back it up.
And they don't. At all.
It's pathetic.
It doesn't-
I'm still angry about
I'm
this.
upset. The whole time I was just sitting here in just sheer amazement at how hot-headed Sony was when they walked into that stadium or the stage, and then they were just failing.
And then they showed some Destiny gameplay.
And they showed Destiny gameplay, which
And the frames dropped in that, too.
yeah, it was every time they showed gameplay. So it's not just like the stream was lagging. It wasn't just our connection. We had friends from other areas around.
Different internet
connections, different regions, talking about the same thing. We've had posts on Facebook from people around the country talking about how the Sony thing was lagging behind and everything, how it was just, the Sony thing was just buckling at every turn. Mainly when they were showing gameplay and when the PS4 was being put to the test. So Assassin's Creed failed. The game didn't fail. The game's cool, but the PlayStation 4 can't handle even 5 minutes of gameplay, if that. And then they showed Watch Dogs, and it looked like GTA 4 with how much the graphics were. And we're talking a lot about the graphics and the processing power, like the running ability of it. And like Cadtac said, it's not about the graphics, but when you do boast yourself to such a high point in your hot air balloon about how good your console is and how much better it is than everyone else's and how bad Microsoft is, you cannot go to a conference and then do exactly what you yelled at them about doing. Only talk about entertainment, and then show off your console that's supposed to be so much better, and have it fail 3-4 times.
I mean, how many demos did the Xbox show?
Many.
It showed Battlefield. It showed...
It showed a lot of stuff going on. Like Battlefield's, like the campaign stuff, there was a lot going on. It never once...
I can't even think of all the games. There was just so many, and they were all really high quality, really... A lot was going on the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, Dead Rising 3... I don't even want to know what would have happened to the PlayStation if they tried playing that.
I don't think our 360s can handle that.
Oh no, 360.
There's no way.
No.
I don't think the PlayStation 4 can handle that. But
to give you a good idea of what would it be like, is imagine in Oblivion duping like 10,000 items and then dropping them in the middle of the city. That's how laggy it would probably be.
Yeah. Sigil stones. Particle effects and sound effects and sigil stones. Thousands of them in a city. That would be how it would be like a Dead Rising 3. So moving away from like the console war that they never moved away from.
Oh my lord! And after they were done with their gameplay, now if they would have just reeled off of Microsoft and they were like, okay, we kind of screwed up there, we're just gonna reel off it. They continued to insult Microsoft
by putting up presentations that looked like they were done by a 5-year-old.
Saying that they can play used games.
Debunking all the rumors that people had that were negative responses to E3's Xbox One reveal earlier a couple weeks ago. They literally took every fan complaint, like all the major ones, all like 5 or 6 of the major ones, talking about used games being traded around, talking about
being backwards compatible. It just was sickening.
They went through each one and said, hey, ours will do this. And then they talked about how they were integrating cloud next year.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to give you a great system to use, but you can't use it at launch, and only North America will get it next year.
We forgot about the beginning, talking about how everything is going to be fantastic for the PS3 and the Vita.
Oh yeah, it started out talking about the first, their current consoles.
Yeah. So we pretty much and then I'll get into that in a second because that happened after all. Like the let's jab at Microsoft some more. Was the catching up was the whole system catching up to the 360. PlayStation 4 is basically Sony's way of saying, hey, we copied the 360, look at us.
But we're still better.
Yeah, right. When you're not.
And here's what really pissed me off. Plus. PlayStation Plus.
The Plus is golden, by the way. And what does golden remind you of?
I don't know, Xbox Live Gold.
Oh, yeah. You mean the paid subscription that allows you access to multiplayer?
And now you have to pay $5 for PlayStation Plus so you can play with your friends online.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have Plus, you can still play single player and access, your apps.
What does that sound
doesn't,
like?
Doesn't the 360 do that?
Already? What was something?
Apart from apps. Certain apps you do need gold to use.
Yes. There are certain things you need gold. And some things you need even more than gold to use, like a paid subscription.
Yeah.
Like Neon Alley. There was something I forgotten. I went past. Now I can't think of what it was. It was something before they went on to the whole used games debacle, but it was after the game stuff, and I can't remember what it was.
Was it that they have 140 games in the run?
No, it was something else. It was something about the hardware. How they're talking about the integration and whatnot with like the Vita and stuff.
The console design.
That's what I was going to talk about. The console. They took it out. They were holding it for one. They didn't show like the controller or anything. I mean, we've already seen the controller, but they could have at least had it like setting down.
And their Kinect. Don't forget about they didn't show their Kinect.
Quote unquote. Their
their Go. Sorry.
Sorry, the Go. Oopsies. What is it? Motion sensor or something.
Something like that.
Doesn't matter. So the console is basically, what did we figure out it was? It was two PlayStation 2s taped together.
Basically, it's slanted. It's got the same black sleek design as the new Xbox.
If you take the Xbox One and you kind of turn it from a rectangular prism into like a trapezoidal prism.
Where you just kind of like slant it.
You just slant the front back and the back. It looks like that, and it doesn't look good.
Don't get me wrong, it looks fine, but don't go boasting.
Yeah.
It's like, it looks just like the new Xbox, but it's slanted.
Yeah.
It looked like it got like melted. Like it sat in a hot car for too long. Like it's right after like your birthday in the middle of summer, you left it in the trunk.
It was leaning on the signs that say Microsoft sucks, we're better.
The Leaning Tower of PlayStation.
Yeah, basically. I bet it's good for stacking.
I doubt that.
Maybe, even if that. So the PlayStation, the design of it isn't all that great. I mean, it's futuristic, but
I don't understand the new controller. With that big touchpad in the middle, I don't understand.
It lights up.
I don't know if it lights up, but it's a big touchpad.
When they were playing, remember they had like the blue in front, and then they had like the yellow. It was like the yellow and green. It like changes colors depending on your mood or whatever. Doesn't matter. It's a God. When it was over with, it was a relief. Basically.
I still feel sick. How much is it going to cost? $400?
$400.
So Xbox will be $500.
Yes.
PlayStation will be $400.
Yes.
And about all the people I've talked to has said Xbox is definitely the way they're going to go.
We forgot. The Day 1 edition of the Xbox One dropped from $499.99 to $499.96. So you can save 3 cents.
I don't even know if that's true or not.
Yeah, it's just some kind of thing we saw earlier.
It'd probably be best to wait a little later after all E3 is done with and...
Oh, we forgot to mention the new 360 design.
Oh yeah, Microsoft is releasing a new Xbox 360.
Is it just the 360 just redesigned again?
Yeah, it's got a better Intel cooler again. It's gonna be silent like the new one. It's
kind of like a halfway.
It's like, okay, here you go. Here's a new 360 for the meantime, and it's available today.
Yeah, it was available when they announced it. It was available in basically retailers.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty cool. It looks like a 360 mixed with an Xbox One.
Yeah, it's kind of the happy medium. I mean,
it's a box, but it has like a rounded front on it.
Yeah.
And it's got that gloss black with a little bit of matte, so it looks a lot like the Xbox One.
I prefer a full matte one, to be honest with you. But the gloss is okay.
I prefer a full one way or the other. I like my Halo 4 limited edition launch console, but that's just me. So Sony was very underwhelming. They seemed like a little kid on a playground boasting about their lunch.
And yeah, they got a chocolate bar and you got a banana.
Yeah.
And it's like they're like, ha 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 ha, but in the end...
And their chocolate bar was a Hershey bar with nuts, and they're allergic to nuts. They ate it, and they got a really bad infection. They're just like, oh, crap. So, I mean, it's just like...
And don't get me wrong, I'm a big Sony fan.
I'm not.
I've played tons of PlayStation 2,
I played one PlayStation game and hated it.
and not very much PlayStation 3, but I'm very big into a lot of the consoles. I'm big into Nintendo. I was big into Sony. After this, I'm really disappointed with them.
Before this conference, I was actually going to attempt to play a PlayStation to try, like, Silent Hill on the actual PlayStation.
Still try original games, just...
Like, try stuff in the PlayStation 2 and the 3. I was so tempted to try it, and now, like, the Sony, I'm just like, nah. I'll go back and maybe try it, but I will not be buying a PlayStation 4. There's no way in hell I'll buy a PlayStation.
No, after that, I don't even know what to say. It was pathetic to see them do that.
So they jibed at Microsoft the entire time, couldn't stand up to their boasting.
Did exactly what they jibed at Microsoft for.
They did exactly what they said was horrible. They turned TV into entertainment and games, as opposed to, we're using our TV for games. They ported PC titles to their console. We did find out the Elder Scrolls Online is going to be on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Mac.
It's what it says.
It's what it says on the reveal trailer that was shown during the Sony conference. So, apparently now it's cross-platform.
I have no idea what they're doing with that game.
So if you want to know what's going on with Elder Scrolls Online, wait a little bit. I suggest going to uesp.net. That's the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages.net. It's a wiki. It's a fantastic source of Elder Scrolls information if you're looking for anything you need. They have lots of updated information on it, so I would check there for anything you need in the coming days. If you're looking for information right now around the internet, it's probably the worst time to look for it because everything's being updated and everything's locked down to like moderator editing approval, and no one's at home editing their stuff right now. Everyone's out at the E3 conferences and the E3 coverage for the Electronic Entertainment Expo. So I would wait until at least this weekend before you get any kind of information, or check on Machinima or IGN or any other channels that are covering it that have live streams. The Machinima app on Xbox is covering E3 for all 3 days. They're going the entire time, and I'm going to be watching that. We know the Xbox dashboard has Microsoft's press conference and a few of their big title trailers. Other than that, Sony has done nothing but disappoint.
I mean, don't get me wrong, a couple of their titles would be nice, but after seeing the console try to play...
And that was amazing to me. Like, I'm an E3 kind of guy. Like, I like the arms race to E3. I think it's cool. Everyone was saying this is going to be the biggest E3 like for the 10 years because this is like this is the console race.
The ball.
They failed hard.
I mean,
I've never seen a console fail like that. I mean, Microsoft had like one problem, and that was getting Battlefield's audio to work for like 2 minutes. And that's the biggest problem they had, was getting the audio on 2 games to work.
Yeah, someone in the back messed up audio. The console actually screwed up for Sony.
Yeah, bad. Like,
I mean, the guy's face standing there with the controller, he's like, no.
He just hung his head in shame. He's like, oh, damn, it failed. We pushed it too far, guys. We went too many minutes.
It was sad.
It's sad. But if you're still with us, almost 19 minutes in, thank you. We've probably thrown away everything we've built up in this E3 coverage little mini thing we've done. We're probably going to be doing more videos on E3 as E3 actually begins tomorrow. Maybe doing coverage over some trailers and stuff to come out, because I know 343 has a booth. I don't know if some of the smaller companies like Rooster Teeth have booths at E3. I doubt they would.
I know they're doing coverage.
They're doing coverage. But there are other gaming companies like Rooster Teeth doing coverage, stuff like that. There are other gaming companies like PopCap, Machinima, IGN. PopCap's like a developer though, so there's all the games that we talked about in the last couple of videos that weren't really like huge major titles. They were not announced at Microsoft, Ubisoft, EA, or Sony. Those will have their booths and their trailers and stuff in the coming days, along with a lot of gameplay. I'm guessing a lot of hands-on. Hopefully, we see the controller for the Xbox One being used, like an actual.
And I want to apologize for not knowing a lot of the PlayStation titles. It was so hard to watch the stream.
Yeah, it cut out so many times, and anyone watching it, you probably know, because a lot of people experience the issue.
Unless it was just over here, maybe it was our internet.
Maybe. There is a great chance that it was just like this region. maybe because we're so far away from the Pacific Standard Time zone that it was happening on the Pacific Coast. We are in the East Coast of America, so...
But I do know for a fact the game did crash.
Yeah, we saw that happen, because they zoomed out and showed the screen, and the guy was just devastated. So, Microsoft won E3.
That's how I feel. I'm seeing a lot of people see this.
I'm going to say Microsoft was number 1, Ubisoft was 2, EA 3, and Sony was last.
Definitely. I think Nintendo would have done better than Sony.
I would rather have had a Nintendo conference.
Nintendo had nothing. I saw a couple Wii U titles.
Like 1 or 2.
It was like cross-platform. It was on
Yeah.
Wii U. They would have done better.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have came in and like...
The chick that was hosting Ubisoft,
That was probably my favorite announcer.
she was funny as hell.
She was a good announcer.
She was entertaining. The only problem with Ubisoft was all the French people. And that's not even the problem. It was just... I think Ubisoft was the most entertaining.
Definitely, it was most entertaining. Microsoft gave you the most information, but Ubisoft definitely got a good hold on your attention.
Their people were funny.
Between their trailers and gameplay and
their commentary, they were good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our Day 0 E3 coverage. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. We stayed up with us this long. Very, very thankful. If you leave a like if you enjoyed or you agree, a comment if you wish to voice your opinion on E3's Day 0 conferences. This has been Veritas.
And Kenneth Ack.
From Filler Crews, everyone, have a great day and enjoy the rest of E3 with some of our coverage.